welcome to Compton Crawford and the Jersey Guy. I'm Lewis here with Kenny and your favorite Jersey guy, Tom. Get ready for another round of real talk, crazy stories, and everything in between. Kenny, how are you, my friend?
I'm not too shabby, my brother. Not too shabby.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom is still out. So anybody
Wish him well.
knows. Yeah.
He's feeling good.
He's doing a little bit better. He's chilling. He is chilling. So, Tom, still missing you, brother. Yeah. So what up?
What's going on, man? We don't usually do current events much.
Right. Yeah. We're trying to switch up a little bit.
Yeah.
Stay out of
Because it's an interesting thing going on.
Yeah.
Right? This is not necessarily political.
Oh, no, it's not political.
At
it
all.
shouldn't be. I don't want to say political. No.
It's not.
No.
The assassination of the UnitedHealthcare CEO.
Yeah.
Who was shot down in Manhattan.
Yep.
That whole idea and just why that happened, what's behind it.
Well, listen, the
so
theories.
there's a lot of stuff going on now.
Right.
Now they're getting more and more information, and so
yeah. So there's a lot of theories, everything from the conspiracy theories to just regular, almost any guy, person, woman, man, child, whatever,
right,
would end up doing it. People that are upset because they're denied health care. So the first thought was that he was a disgruntled customer and denied coverage in some way, shape, or form. And that's why he killed him, went over there to shoot him. Another one, that was the politics, and that was my thing, that it was a political
like
thing.
Somebody was like he was set up, like he was sent there to do something, to do a job.
But that was just me going on the mic, got that moment of conspiracy theories.
Yep.
So that wasn't it, because as of today, of right now, it looks like it was a disgruntled customer.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So I just looking it up right now. They just found his backpack in Central Park earlier today.
All right, so he's shaking things off now. He's like leaving breadcrumbs from him now.
Right now, now they're finding him.
Right.
Because today, this afternoon, there was a police were going through all of Central Park, and they were, how they do that line when they're looking for something and looking for evidence and stuff.
They scan the area.
Yeah, so they were doing that, and they were looking for evidence.
Right.
So it looks like they found his backpack. They found video of him after he left. And they video cameras along the route that they think he went. They found
he was also at a hostile as well.
Dude, can you believe it? They were interviewing some of the people. They're like, what?
Yep.
What? Yeah. That was insane.
And I believe he came in on a Greyhound bus.
Yeah, so he came into the city on a Greyhound bus is what they believe. And then he was at the hostel, and he was there for a few days scoping out.
I got to tell you, when you see the photos that they have, the ones that are out of him, the hood and everything.
Yeah.
It's like this guy doesn't seem like to have a care in the world. Like nothing's bothering him.
Dude, I made it funny because the first time I looked at the picture, Jake Gyllenhaal came to my head. Like that's what he looked like for a second from that angle.
Right.
I wasn't, because I wasn't paying attention.
Right.
Like, I
well, if there's ever a movie.
There's gonna be. It'll be him.
Who knows?
Yeah. But it's insane, bro. And to think that if he is a disgruntled customer, that he went to that length.
Well, here's the thing. We have been, this random shooting thing has been like a virus for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now it's graduated
right
to another level now, to the point where, okay, now I'm not going to just go in a school or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go to someone who's higher up
or
something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Well, because I mean,
it's just, but then you start to think, like you said, what was the reason? This guy had to have a reason. He couldn't just randomly, it was a CEO of a company who made so much money, $10 million,
right,
by the way.
$10 million, I was going to say.
Right. And cold blood just shot him in the back while he was walking down the street.
Yeah.
And he had a silencer on the gun. This guy, he planned this out. He definitely had, he knew what he wanted to do, and he did it. And you could see that. And when looking at the video, or I shouldn't say video, but the pictures that they released.
Right.
He doesn't seem like he's bothered by anything. Yeah. As far as,
not anything. He just, I guess you never know what anybody looks like, if that makes any sense. Like, you don't know what a murderer looks like,
Right. No, I didn't mean it like that. I mean the way Not that he looks like a murderer.
Oh, you mean that he didn't look like he was?
He didn't look like he was under any type of distress or like he was in panic or anything like that. He just was normal, doing whatever he was doing, and took his time doing it.
He did. It's craziness, bro. Craziness.
Yeah.
And he didn't have a city bike. He had an electric bike. And in one of the videos, they were saying that he had taken the video. He took the battery out and was walking with the battery, I guess, to toss it or whatever he was going to do with it. Why? I don't know. Did you? And you heard that he had he wrote on the bullets.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it was deny,
depose.
Yeah, and it was
something else.
Yeah, hold on, I'll tell you right now. It was delay, deny, defend.
Delay, deny.
Right, and but not in that order is how they didn't say it like that.
But the fact that they were on it, and it was from, they believe it's from a book that was written, I think, about 10 years ago. Yep. I sent you the text today about that.
Yeah, and I sent you the picture. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
You sent it to my phone.
Yeah, and that's and it was about healthcare and why insurance companies don't pay the claims and things you could do about it. Like that thing.
It's just
a professor wrote it.
That's why, bro. Because it's the same thing. We previously did an episode on things that that what companies are putting on foods and everything. So think of it the same way.
Yeah,
that they control it to the point where they take advantage of you or put you in a position where you can't, by any means, do.
Yep.
And if they are denying people and doing that, and these people are making that kind of money, then I can understand why people are not too upset. No, they're not upset about this.
Oh, you mean upset about the killing? Yeah, no.
And because of that. That's what I'm trying to make. Because of that.
Yeah.
So people are like, I don't really feel too bad.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, hey, you know what? People can't get that. They have shitty coverage, or they don't have coverage.
Yep.
Or if they do have coverage, it's not enough, and they only pay so much. Like, it's all kinds of.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of different things.
It's crazy.
And that's why, I was watching an interview today with somebody else altogether, and Damon John. And he was saying how it is that people need to, we're always planning about what we're going to do for our next vacation or a new car or anything like that. But we don't ever pay any real attention to what our insurance coverage is and what pays what and what is Affleck and what is the gap insurance and what do all those things mean. So that then when, God forbid, anything happens, that you don't know it all and you don't claim all the things that you're supposed to claim.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you don't claim the Affleck or people that don't claim the Affleck, and that's to help you get through because
so you're saving money basically. Well, and it helps you. You're paying into it,
right?
And then when you need it, it'll pay you so much for the time that you're out.
Right, exactly. But some people don't even pay no mind that they have that on their insurance, on their medical insurance, and then don't use it when they get into it. So now they're broke.
But not everybody has that though.
But exactly, that's what I'm saying. So that's what he was saying in the interview today. Right. People need to know and understand their insurance,
how the insurance works,
how it pays out, and how it doesn't, and how they, you have to know all of it. This way, you can catch them at their own game.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, luckily for me, and I'm sure with you as well, my wife knows that shit like the back of her hand. So when any of that stuff comes in the house, bills, whatever they are, I just hand it to her. Yeah. Because it's like hieroglyphics to me. I can't read this. There's no way I'm going to understand. I understand that I owe something, but the whole how it works. She does. She explains it to me and then it makes sense. Right. She breaks it down in layman terms. And it's, not to say that, but it's complicated. They make it that way. It's like, it's like, come on, there's got to be an easier way to do this,
Well, and it's funny because the movie The Incredibles, Mr. Incredible was selling insurance, and there was an old lady that was trying to get her claim, and he was giving her, you call this people, but you didn't hear it from me that you did this, and I told you to do that, this number. And call that number, and whatever. I love that
movie.
Yeah,
great movie. That perfect example.
That's a freaking super perfect example, of sometimes the people at the insurance companies want to help, right, but they can't help you the way that they would want to, even though that's what they're, quote unquote, hired to do, is to help you and help you navigate through some of this stuff. They're like, well, I really can't tell you and put you in that direction. That's above my pay grade. And then, that kind of shit. Right. It sucks, man. It sucks. And I think that it's even worse that now, another thing on the news was they had taken down other insurance CEOs insurance company CEOs, they've taken down a lot of their information from the website.
Right, of course they did. Because they're worried about
somebody else taking out somebody from another company.
Let's stick to this because this is interesting. This could get out of control
quick.
And there could be copycats, which is really fucked up.
Yeah.
And it could progress not only to people who are in major companies, but we've already had it. We saw it with a politician already this past year.
Yeah.
So it's going to that level.
Right.
You know what I mean? And all right, now let's just take CEOs out,
Yeah.
Now, and I understand the reasoning behind it because
we get it and we understand. But nobody should go out and kill anybody. I think that's like
what I'm saying is that I don't have any rahmunis for this, meaning that pity for this person. I'm sorry that, first of all, this shouldn't have never happened. But if you're making that kind of money and people are struggling to have their benefits and work with it and do whatever they can, and you guys know that and you're making that kind of money, it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's not right.
Yeah.
And people work hard, they get that stuff, and if they can get it, it's almost sometimes it's difficult, because they make it hard for you, especially when you really need to have that one thing, and they go, you can't because you didn't, or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's expensive, bro. It's
It's crazy. So I can understand
the frustration,
the logic. That people are like, it probably sucks that it happened. You know what? I'm really, I'm not worried because hey,
Yep. And there's a lot.
They didn't worry about me.
A lot of people that are saying what you're saying. Yeah, oh, dude, they're saying the exact same thing. And I kind of bugged out for a second because, damn, I understand, I get it, but dude, that's kind of fucked up to
to get to that level.
To get to that level,
yeah,
absolutely. So how bad did this guy have it? Because again, I like to put myself in other people's shoes.
We don't know, but still we don't have any idea of what his reasoning was.
Yeah, we don't even know. This is all on assumption.
Could he have been doing it just to do it because he thought it was the right thing to do, and it didn't have anything to do with anybody? Yeah. And maybe it was in his mind to say, this is wrong. This guy shouldn't be A, B, C, and D. And in his mind, he was like, he needs to be taken out. Which is pretty fucked up.
And that's the whole thing. Is was it that he was a customer? Was it that he's just like, what, insurance as a whole, and I'm just going to take this head guy out to make.
He was some kind of maybe activist? In his mind being some kind of hero in a sense for people who were getting robbed by the insurance companies or not getting what they deserve. So in his mind, or it could be somebody in his family close to him who if they had something but they were denied it because they couldn't get it and they wound up whatever perishing or something or something horrible. The worst thing obviously is dying, right? So then okay, I can see that motivation. You know what I mean? Like, well, if she had it, there was a good chance for that, this, that, and the other thing, or he, or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So you got to think of every scenario in your head. Like, why? My wheels are turning. I'm like, I want to know what the deal is with this guy. I want to know what, because
I want to see too. I do, because of course they're still trying to find him.
Right.
So he came in on the Greyhound bus. He left. He committed the crime, left, and then they followed a bunch of video cameras through the town, through the park. They found his backpack, but then they lose him again.
Right.
So they're not even sure where he popped up. They think that he left before the crime was even before it was
even known.
Yeah. Well, not that it wasn't known, because there was two people there. That was the other shit too, bro. When he shot him, right, there was a woman that was standing to the right. He didn't even stutter. He just let her go. She just went. And it was the gentleman that was sitting in a car, and the car was on. He was warming up the car. And he said that he was scared because the guy, it happened right there. It was 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning. People were starting to move around to go to work and such.
This is the shit that you see in the movies.
Yeah.
But really, right? Yeah. This is what you see. The movie opens up, and that's the first thing.
That's the first thing.
Right? Yeah. You got music coming in through the scene. Yeah. This guy's walking down the side. He's got a hoodie on. Pulls out a gun. And then his fucking gun jams
his
up.
gun jams, and he's trying to do it. And that gun was a special gun. So they think that he may. And so the conversations that I was having too, they think that, because I believe it was a German gun, and he may have used the different ammunition that didn't fit it properly, and that's why it had jammed up on him like that. Well, and dude, I'm telling you, it's just the whole thing.
Right,
the guy was already gone.
But then at the same time, when you look at certain things, they got pictures of him on the camera. Like, all right, so now he's being a little careless. Like,
But those are old pictures. Those weren't pictures like they didn't. So I think that they are finding out. They're getting more information faster than he thought that they would get information. If that makes any sense. So like all the things
they got pictures of him while he was there. What are you
he
talking about?
he didn't think that but of his face, they found him at the hostel like almost before day's end.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that that's kind of what it was, because by the time the cops got there, his room was already empty.
Yeah, he was done.
He was already gone.
He probably was gone the day he got him.
No, he did. He was gone. So the way
Like
that
he left the hostel and he went and did what he had to do.
right, that's what they think happened.
Yeah.
That he was already done. He was out, and that no sooner the
wasn't
cops were
coming back.
there that he was already leave. That he had
was
already left
done.
the state. I don't know. I kind of think he's still in New York, bro.
I don't
know.
might be.
Yeah,
he
I
might
kinda
be.
think because
But still, I think he could have, in a lot of ways, when you think about it, when you see how, like, he didn't have maybe that was the right thing to do. Maybe for him to just have no care in the world and just do it.
yeah,
Not panic, run, freak out.
right.
This guy just fucking
Yeah.
said,
I do want to know, like I said, I mean, I wish he had sent a letter, or
what?
left
Here we
something
go,
somewhere.
like a fucking,
no, just to say, like, this is why, like, what it is. Again, like, if we're going to say that,
I see what you're saying.
About a movie or a TV show, that he would have left a letter or put something like, just to say, this is why I did this. This is what it was. This is for whatever reason. That's just what I want to know.
Think of what this means, man. This is what's happening. People are being, to the point now, these other people, the CEOs of other companies are now going to have to, scatter and do their shit to get all their information. They can, they got the money, so they probably can do a pretty decent job with that, but still shit's out there. But now we're going after CEOs of fucking companies now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
People are pissed off.
Yeah. Right.
Like, enough.
Yes.
And that's not saying it's right.
No.
But that's
right.
What you're seeing. If we were to assume what it could possibly be about.
Yeah. If we stay with the idea that he did it because he was a disgruntled customer.
Right.
Yes.
Or just someone who was trying to be some kind of, vigilante and coming in and saying, hey, I'm saving America from this guy, or, people from insurance and stuff. Because that could be that kind of guy too.
Yeah, he could have just been like,
totally
now all you guys beware. All CEOs and all insurance companies beware.
Right.
Because you never know. You know what I mean?
Like, who knows? I mean, it's scary, man. It's gotten to that point.
Bro, I can't. And out in the middle of the open, he was obviously stalking him because he knew when he was going to walk out.
Well, here's the thing, right? Because he knew when and where he walked.
Right.
So, obviously, that makes sense.
And it was in a conference. So it wasn't like he had a month of following this guy's routine. Right. This was like 2 days worth of paying attention to where he was.
Somehow he found out where he was going to be.
It was because it was a conference. It was a conference for the healthcare company, for the insurance company. I'm sorry. And so he knew that they were going to be there because he knew that that's what it was. That the conference was there.
Right.
And but like I said, just that he happened to be out there, at the time he was just waiting for that man to come out of the dude.
Yeah.
That's serious. Like, that's serious. That's insane. And I hope that people don't take this to, like you said, take it to that level where they're just going to start hunting all the CEOs for, or the bigwigs for any company.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well, we can't control what people do. But I mean,
we're
just talking because of the fascination of this whole thing. It's really what it is. It's not about us trying to promote it or anything. We're just talking about it because it's crazy, because everything going on is just like, I am not surprised that this is what's happening.
Right. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It is, like you said, bro. This is straight out of a TV show or
a movie. The way it would open up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because, dude, and
even the hostel.
So the other thing was out. Too, right. And then just going over and waiting for him out there. He sees him, and
they could turn it into pervert it into some kind of like
into whatever they want.
Yeah, right. It's crazy, man.
So now the craziness.
See how we think we're so fucked up.
No. So again, when they released the wife's statement, his wife's statement,
right?
The man that was killed, it didn't sound like she was that kind of upset. So I apologize if, if that sounds rude or mean, but it just didn't sound. But again, that's from watching movies.
The way she reacted to it,
yeah,
wasn't,
it just didn't. But I mean,
seem
right. So I didn't hear her speak.
Sincere in any way.
It was just like she's sent out a release, and this is what the reporters were reading, and it didn't sound too copacetic. So then it was like, well, now
couldn't have to do a better guy.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, listen, who knows what was going on in his life? What kind of person? Then now you're thinking the wife, right? So now our minds are going crazy, and I know what you're already thinking.
Yep, exactly.
So yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So again, that's why I want to know.
Did she have anything?
If it was, but again, there was so many different things.
But that could just because she was off because it did happen to him,
exactly.
and that's the way she
just felt
to
right.
it.
That's her.
It really doesn't mean anything. We're just assuming that
exactly.
Hey, why did she?
Making it into something that it probably isn't or whatever. It's just the funny that's where all of our minds are going.
I know we're not the only ones thinking.
Hell no,
because everybody's like focused and zoned in on this thing.
A disgruntled customer,
right?
Political reasons, there's just so many things, so many reasons.
A vigilante
that I've had, like you having a conversation with you is like the 8th conversation that I've had
already. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because there's always something.
Yeah,
there's been stuff, little bits and pieces are coming out. Like the book, man. I got it right
book.
here.
Yeah, word. So tell me what was in the book.
I don't know what's in the book. I just have the actual the cover of the book, which is where it's delay, deny, defend. Why insurance companies don't pay claims and what you can do about it. J.M. Feynman.
Okay, right.
And
He's
it's
a professor.
A book. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this book is not a new book. This has been out for quite a while.
Yes.
So it's no coincidence that those words were on his bullets.
And that's the thing. And that's another creepy thing.
Right. So he's obviously now he's involved somehow because he's read the book, obviously.
Right.
And it's obviously something that he feels that might have been necessary in his mind because of what he read and how he felt.
Yeah.
Not saying that the book made him do anything.
Oh, no.
I don't mean that. It's just his interpretation because everybody interprets shit differently
words
depending on where they are
mentally and emotionally. Right.
Exactly.
No, you're 1,000,000% right. It's still, again, because I said I like to do that. What if that's just the decoy?
Possibly.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I've already ran through that in my head too.
So then that's not even what it was he did it. And I think I'm bugging out more.
I have a strong feeling that it does because that's just coincidence. Because it's not like a book just came out and he just read this book.
Right.
It's been out for a while.
Yeah.
So he used words from the same ones.
Yeah.
3 bullets.
Yeah.
And the gun got jammed. Mm-hmm. Right? So that's weird too because he has a crazy sniper on that thing. I mean, the silencer on that thing.
Right. Well, now see, here's the shit. Remember Manson, and that's what he was doing with the Beatles. He said that the Beatles' White Album is where he heard the voices to commit his crimes, the murders. So then if this guy reading the book...
That's a little bit different because this guy is reading material and he's taking an interpretation of what he's reading. He knows what it means, everything, but however he feels about it emotionally or whatever... Manson was just crazy because he wanted to use people and he made them do what he wanted.
But I'm just saying. All right, fair enough. I'll give you that.
He was manipulating people. The book is a book. It's not manipulating. It's just information for you to read, right? Yeah. So and a Beatles song, really. I mean, that whole story itself is interesting and crazy and has its own crazy shit. Right. But I think the comparison. This is a little bit more on a different level.
So? Okay, I'll go along with that.
This guy's thinking about shit.
It's just
he's got the wheels turning.
Oh yeah, definitely. I just find it almost surprising. I find it surprising that it was just the way that he did it. You know what I'm saying? That he didn't leave a note, a letter, or whatever.
Right.
Put something out there to say that this is why he did it. These are the reasons. Well, then to now, police haven't released anything. If they even went back to his, if there was a computer found, or whatever.
Where is he originally from? They don't know. They just said
no. They don't even know yet
because his license was from Jersey,
right?
And it was a fake Jersey license.
Right.
It wasn't even a real one. Sorry. So already there is another clue. Yeah. That he's already making sure he's covering his tracks. Mm-hmm. He's not using his real ID.
Yeah.
He's got phony shit.
dude, listen.
This guy planned this out.
In the time that it took,
he planned it out. He already had this. He either knew about the meeting already and knew this guy was going to be there. But like you said, have to get the time right in the morning, knowing or whatever. Like because that's really weird.
Even now, right? If it happened at 7:00 in the morning.
Okay.
5.5 hours later, he could have already been in Canada, just driving.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because right there to Buffalo,
absolutely,
he could have been right over there. Yep. Nobody would have known anything. There's no looking for him yet because they didn't even have a face on him yet.
Right.
So he was already gone by the evening.
Yeah, he'd have to really hide well in Canada though, because they're
Well, again.
Anywhere he goes, for that matter. But, it doesn't matter if it's Mexico or Canada or whatever. You still have to.
But if he would have gotten to Canada and then got on a flight to go to a non-extradition place, country,
right?
Then he's gone. He's in the wind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're not getting him back.
All it takes him is to get into Canada. By the time they released a picture of his face, he was already on a plane going to wherever.
Somewhere. He was either on a train, another train, or he was on a bus the first time. Who's to say he didn't get on an Amtrak?
No, that was coming in.
No, I'm saying I'm talking leaving. That's what I'm saying.
To leave, the fastest way for him to leave.
I know,
but
who's to say? Yeah, it could be, or you could just get on the fucking train and take something that people wouldn't necessarily think of, like an Amtrak or something like that.
Well, the only reason why I say no to that, is because of how long it takes to get out of the area. So,
that's true.
It's a 5.5 hour ride to get from here. From this part of New York, Hudson Valley area, VA, it takes 5.5 hours to get to Buffalo. So that then it's 5 hours and 45 minutes, 6 hours to be in Canada after you go through customs.
That makes more sense.
That's why I'm saying that. Yeah. That's why I'm saying that.
That's crazy. That's just the whole, he's probably gone already. If he's smart, but, these guys, they're, you got to be a little off. Something's got to be going on in your life.
Oh, yeah.
For you to get to that point where you're like, I'm done. Maybe he's dying. Maybe he found out he was diagnosed and the insurance company wouldn't cover him.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, that's a good one, brother. I didn't even think
Who
about
knows?
that.
I mean, you could think of anything.
Yeah. But again, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So far, I think that every scenario that we've come up with, that people have come up with, makes sense for somebody to be, because again, and something that I like to live by,
people are getting captivated by this whole
because
thing,
you never know what
crazy.
that person is going through, what people are going through. And dude, that's a good one. That's a good one. I that he couldn't get coverage for himself, so he's like, whatever, fuck everything. I'm just gonna go and do this, and they'll find my letter when they find my body.
He was like in the zone. He didn't nothing bothered him. He didn't freak out. Nothing. Just
dude, because he was super smooth.
Yeah, he just took his time.
Yeah. It was just like whatever. He was eating. They think that he was eating snacks before he even did it.
That's crazy.
Like they have found the wrappers, the candy wrapper, whatever.
Wow.
So and nobody paid him any attention.
We'll see what tomorrow is going to bring. For more information. As day by day goes, we're going to find out more stuff.
Because, it's right now at the time of broadcast, it's it's not even 11 o'clock yet, so we don't even know what the news is going to come up on. As
we're sitting here, information could be coming in right now.
Yeah, because like I said, on what I just looked up, and it was an hour
recording.
Ago. Yes, we're recording right now to put greatness into you guys' lives with this podcast. Okay. But it's what I was looking at before when we first started.
Right.
It was about an hour ago that they found his backpack, or that they reported that they found his backpack.
Gotcha.
So the guy had a backpack. He went through an alleyway, got on an electric bike, went through Central Park.
Right.
And then that's where they lose him. So they're not sure where he went. So they were trying to find. That was this morning at around 8 o'clock in the morning that was all that kind of information had come out. Then that's when they got pictures of him, because they found that he was at that hostel. And they interviewed some of the people that were out there that were staying on the same floor with him, and they thought he was all like, "Oh my God, he was so nice." And,
right. He's just like a regular person.
Right, exactly.
He didn't, act crazy or out of whack to bring attention to himself.
Exactly.
He just did what he would know, an everyday thing, and just was nonchalant about it.
That was
just
it.
Said, pat, pat, and
that was it. So for the last 2 days before this, he was at the hostel, coming in and out like it was just regular or whatever. So then I didn't hear yet if it was that when he, after he committed the murder, that he went straight back to the hostel. They haven't found that. They were
I don't think he would have.
They were finding his. They were
He's
doing
out.
his back traces.
He's out, bro. He's
They
out.
were doing from. That's what I said.
I wouldn't
That's
go back.
why-
It'd be the stupidest thing to do.
Exactly. So then they don't even know because again they didn't know what he looked like.
Right.
So
right.
they
No,
couldn't
but I'm
put
saying,
it-
I'm saying, if with everything he's done so far, when you think about it, like, he's not going to
gone.
do that.
Yeah,
He's
it's
gone
over.
already.
Yeah.
He's
What else
gone.
did you find? You just said
Well, there's a headline here that says, after shocking shooting, Americans vent feelings about health insurance. The death of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson triggered a deluge of painful stories about healthcare denials on social media. So people are already just, venting about their disgust with insurance companies.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, and people are not feeling bad. They're probably sorry, but at the same time, they're just being like, you know what? Nobody should be making that kind of money when people are struggling to get. So if he's making that much, how much are all the other CEOs? And how many of them are there? When you think about the company and itself, right?
Right.
It's huge. It's got to be huge. These people are making money hand over fist.
Insane.
Hand over
Plus
fist.
the shareholders.
And then they're giving you shit when you go to try to get stuff done. They don't want to pay it. I mean, you pretty much have to like jump through hoops to,
Right.
like I remember I recently went for a test to get done, right?
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't do the one. So the doctor said to me, I'm going to see if I can get the other one. They wanted to do the echo. They denied the echo.
Right.
They said no. But I had gotten the echo every other time before that. Now they said no. So she said, I'm going to try for the contrast, the MRI with contrast, to do that. That one passed. I'm thinking, wow, that's a big machine, crazy, and then the echo was just the thing on your chest or whatever they're looking for or whatever they're checking. A little tiny thing, you're laying on a freaking gurney or whatever, and you're like, that makes no sense.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. But it's what it is. So
there's always a reason behind their method of thinking,
So now you know that when you go to the doctor's office, right, you're sitting there, there's always somebody coming in to try to sell the doctor something. Like the private. So they're like, oh yeah, try these meds. Oh yeah, check out this stuff or look at this stuff or what, look at this meds, these scrubs, this, these instruments, whatever the case may be. So they're always trying to buy the doctor's, well, I'm not going to say they're not trying to buy, but they are trying to get the doctors to, come pay attention, buy stuff from their companies. If for you going for this guy, what if that, like you said, they didn't pay for this, but they paid for that.
Right.
They're not going to pay for that. Like I said, I can't go for a regular MRI. I'm going to have to go for this, but it's not going to tell the same thing. Come on, bro.
So check this out. Many people shared searing stories of healthcare denials from health insurers. One person said their mom scanned to check on her stage 4 lung cancer was recently denied. In another post, a dad shared the letter to UHC sent him denying a wheelchair for his son with cerebral palsy. A lot of people are in deep pain and maybe didn't have anywhere to put their pain, Wilson says. So Wilson says she's not celebrating that the man was killed, though certainly some people on social media were. She calls that a dark impulse that might stem from people's unresolved feelings of hurt and helplessness. So people are pissed off. They're like, yeah. So other people just gotten to the point where now, okay, you know what? I'm gonna take you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, it's people that just
crazy.
turn around. Yeah. There's been so many movies, so many
all the things
TV
we watch,
shows,
right? That we've seen growing up.
This is what
it's become a reality now.
And this is literally the reality,
right?
Bro.
It's becoming a reality.
This is exactly that. You are 1,000,000% right. This is the reality where people are just fed up.
Yep, they're done. They're tired of big corporations taking advantage of them, and they have all this money and they can do what they want and they're controlling our lives. Whether it's from food to medicine to
the medicines, bro. Was it a couple of years back when they were talking about, if it was that long ago, with the asthma, the pump, the medicine for the asthma, they were charging like $300-$400 for an asthma pump.
Oh, I remember that whole situation.
And it was like, what? Like, why?
And
would
it didn't
you
need to
do
be.
That
it didn't
shit?
even need to be that much.
It doesn't,
because it didn't. If I'm not mistaken, it didn't even cost that much to make it.
No.
So, but that's the whole thing. They mark it up, man. And I think the guy got caught on doing that. Or whatever.
No. So what it was when they had that dude in there that he was, I'm not going to go to the detail because I remember the guy's name. But what it was that when the guy was in there from the big pharma company, he says it's not what we're doing. It's that this is what the insurance companies are charging.
Right.
It's not us. Is they charge different from what they do here in the United States to what they charge in
so
in
I'm saying
England.
it's just
So it's the insurance companies that are doing these things.
They're taking advantage.
Here it is that they just got called out.
Right.
So let's see what happens now. Right. Because are they going to either panic and
once they're panicking now because he didn't catch him yet.
But then you never know the next person that might do it.
Again, which is what we were saying, and so they're hoping he gets caught. Right. And then, of course, they're hoping there's no copycats because they're probably still going to want to protect themselves. I would if it was me.
Right.
That's what I'm just saying.
Yep.
Maybe that's because of where I come from and how I grew up. You know what I'm saying? I don't take anything for granted if that shit's going on.
No shit.
No.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But they're not street smart, a lot of these people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So then you never know. So now what does Big Pharma do? Do they actually like, oh my God, this was a reality check.
Well,
that's so sorry.
Well, it's not really Big Pharma when you think about it. It's not pharma in the sense it's the insurance company.
Right, the insurance company. I'm sorry, you're right. My
fault. But Big Pharma in their own has their own shit. But we're just talking about how the insurance companies.
Yeah.
Really,
all right. So fine. So the insurance company. So now, what do the insurance companies do now? Do they change their rates? Do they change how it is that they're doing certain things?
They're not panicking yet. They'll panic if it happens again.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that's what I want to
happen. It doesn't,
right?
But
if it happens again, then they're going to be like, okay, we got a problem because you better hope that they catch this guy and nobody else doesn't follow them.
Yeah,
because that would be a whole new ball game.
Yeah,
because it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't even have to be like this guy. He went to a conference. It could be at your home answering, going to your door to answer for a package. It could be anything.
Dude, do you remember way back when they would turn around and put in the powder and send it to the...
Oh, that was nuts.
Well, that was recent too. They did it again. But way back when, a long time ago, they were doing that, sending the white powder in envelopes and stuff to politicians and stuff. Everybody was freaking scared.
Oh, yeah. They would like...
What if this kind of thing starts to happen?
Now it's gotten to that level now.
Right. So now for the insurance companies, be careful. You never know. I mean, they say that they're getting death threats already, or that
they must already. They probably did.
Have been getting,
but they probably
threats.
Didn't take them serious because they just took it as that's just people venting, and and I'm sure they had to go and. I'm sure that if we look it up, that I'm sure there were situations where the insurance companies had to go to court or whatever to protect themselves from certain people. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure if you would look at it, there's probably a history of, hopefully not a lot. But,
but I'm sure that there is. Yeah, I'm with you.
So I'm sure that's happening too.
It's just insane, bro. Like, what now? I think, along with finding out why it is that this guy did it, I want to know what now. What is it that these insurance companies, and it's not just medical insurance, car companies do the same thing.
It's everything.
You know what I'm saying? It's all insurance.
And then you have to go and, all right, now I got to go shop for insurance because now my one that I had raised it and it's more than what I was paying. So now I got to shop around to get a company that's going to give me a better deal and switch everything over to that one so I get a better rate.
And it's bullshit because if I've never been in an accident, I get into a car accident, now my insurance goes up too.
Yeah, I know.
What kind of bullshit is that?
That's been like that forever.
Exactly. So. And I mean, and that's one of those things that,
could piss people off.
Turn around and super piss people off. You know what I mean?
To the point where not anymore. We're not doing
I've had 3 accidents in my whole life, vehicle accidents. So then now in those 3 accidents, now I'm still, granted, I mean, I'm not going to say how much I pay for insurance. I'm just I'm a speed driver. I drive fast. Gotten caught. So, I know why I'm paying this much more.
You may want to slow down.
Well, right, fair enough, but it's not because of the accidents. You know what I'm saying? People that, like I said, but this one accident that I had last year, I was hit, and my insurance went up more than for my speeding tickets.
Nobody can explain that, man. We could sit here. Well, that's a whole other freaking podcast.
It's just the stupid shit, and it's those things.
It's just taking advantage. Is what it is.
Exactly what it is.
They make reason. they try to reason and make excuses to make it like, well, this is why this happens,
Right.
because now because of that you're in this percentile and no,
right.
fuck
yeah,
you.
kiss my ass.
All right, it was me who got hit, not the other way around.
Yeah, exactly. And you're telling me that is a what?
But what you were saying earlier, though, too, also, if you have good insurance, and let's say, all right, your rate does go up, but unfortunately for you, it didn't work out for you because you weren't able to use someone else's insurance and you couldn't use your own, right? When the accident, getting the medical covered and all that stuff.
The person that hit me didn't have insurance. Right. Yeah.
So now I've been in car accidents where I've had that coverage where I was able to put in for it and get it, where they would go and his insurance was paying for my visits going to the doctor and all that. So it does work in that event, in that ways as well. There are good things about insurance.
Oh yeah, no.
It's just when they get crazy with the rates and start finagling with shit and start scamming. It's like, come on,
when
guys.
the insurance works
how much
for
more
you.
money can you possibly make?
Well, even with that, like I said, if I've been paying yada yada insurance for the past 25 years, that means that there's literally, bro, several $million that are sitting in there or that I've paid out. Right. Plus sitting in escrow and however else the ways that it works and whatnot. The money's there.
Right. If
I shouldn't have to come out.
Why do I need to struggle to have to pay my insurance?
Just say, yo, I've been paying this. You've been collecting interest on this money because of where it was sitting. So it's not like you're not getting paid for doing me the solid.
There's a lot of avenues that, depending on the insurance or whatever. But in this case, I can understand this one more than I can understand the car insurance stuff.
Oh, the medical
depending
stuff
on what
different.
it is. I'm not saying it makes it.
But I'm saying that for all insurances.
The medical, for the mindset to why this guy did what he did. I could say, okay, medical, something's going on. Somebody didn't pay something, or he knew somebody, or he's trying to think he's doing the right thing by, making him an example because he makes so much money, or, just so many different scenarios. It's just, and I'm not one, and I can be honest, it was my idea to do this podcast tonight, right? Because I was like, hey, we're going to do this one because it made you think the way you wouldn't normally think, because now, and you can understand why. Like I just read to you about some people who were getting denied and everything, and people just have a bad taste in their mouth. Like, I'm paying you all this money, and at the same time, you're telling me no, but you're making $10 million.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm with you, bro. Yeah. Like I said, I get it. I understand.
You're not hurting, bro.
You're not hurting.
You don't need to be making $10 million a year. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but
I will.
Yeah, you're right. I would too, because not for nothing. Because you're nickel and diming us, and you guys are sitting back and enjoying the freaking the fruits.
I understand and I get that you that you're successful, that you've gone to school, or that you ended up making that nifty cookie or whatever services that you're giving to the people. I get that, and I applaud you, and I'm not taking anything away from that.
Once you start taking advantage and going over that line,
when you start doing those kind of things, and I think it's mostly, and I will say, I think it's mostly out of the insurance companies that is where I get more pissed off, because if more people are buying your product, then you're getting more profit. So I get that. I understand that. But when you're going to turn around and deny people for shit that they've been paying for, that's a problem, because if my sneakers are fucked up, right, when I buy them and they lasted, I had them on maybe 4 or 5 times, they're starting to fall apart or whatever, I'm taking them back. Like, dude, like, I didn't even wear these to work. Right. And they're falling apart. Please, can I have another pair of sneakers? Right. You know what I mean? Like, you owe me now. Right. Because I just paid all that money. I'm not paying $10 for my sneakers. Exactly. But it's just that simple.
I know. I get it.
When you're at a restaurant and the food comes out with a hair, you're taking that shit back. Like,
right. But just as a point, a little advice to people out there, not to get off the subject, but if you do get something wrong with your food, always remember to be nice to your waitress, your server. From the beginning to end, you can get them with the tip if it's necessary. Yeah. Do not, while or before you get your food, make
mouth off,
because you will pay for it dearly.
Yeah, you could.
The chances are very good. That being said, we run out of time.
So thank everybody for listening. And Tom, see you in the next one. Feel better. Yep, feel better. We'll see you soon. Love, peace, and hair grease.
Live long and prosper.
And for Tom, go vegan.